Good morning. It is currently Tuesday and I'm beyond exhausted. I came in yesterday to get some things done, forgot to bring the camera, but I'll show you what I did. I needed to tweak the Halloween window a bit because I finally got those two beautiful black and red tulle robes in that I originally was going to have on the front mannequins, but they came in a little late. Came in, got that done, got some other projects done. And today I have a laundry list of things I need to do. I need to pack some orders, steam a bunch of new clothing that just came in, catch up on life. I'm a little bit of a mess today, but when am I not? So why don't I start off by showing you a little bit of what I did with the new windows. I realized I was supposed to take a photo of how I had the windows last week. Wasn't able to get here at night when all the lights were off, so I don't have anything to compare it to. I'm still working on getting that photo, but I'll show you kind of behind it so you can get an idea of what everything looks like. Okay, so let's start this day before I completely lose my mind. All right, so now you can only really see the back end of it, but got these beautiful tulle robes in. Got my veils up. Let's see if I can move over to the other side so you can see a little bit. Yeah, still can't really see that much better. Again, I will promise I'm gonna try to get a front view of this at night. But I got these done yesterday and I'm just going to steam the rest of the robes that came in as well. Now, time is moving by quicker this month than I've given it credit for, so I have a lot to do, a lot of things that I wanted to do, and I don't know if they're all gonna get done, so I'm gonna do my best. You can probably already tell I'm a little frazzled today. Since I came in yesterday, I didn't really have a proper rest day, since I do work 6 days a week. So I've just been constantly going, and I think that might be the theme for this week, unfortunately. But, you know, this is the time of year where you hustle. You hustle and hustle and hustle until the holidays are over, and January is slower. I'm fully intending on taking more of a break. But until we get there, just pushing through it, getting everything done that I can so that in January I can step back a bit, take a breath, and just be able to enjoy some time off. That's my long-term goal right now. All right, now these are the robes that are in the front window. I had to take my steamer home last night and descale it. It was getting a little crusty. And today I need to find a spot for these voluminous beauties, but I also want to give them a light steam just to smooth out any wrinkles from when they were packaged. And you know, the same song and dance, getting everything lessened back here. Over the weekend, I've had a flood of buying appointment requests, and it really is feast or famine. Didn't have a lot of buying appointments over the summer. That ended up ramping up a lot in the past month and a half, 2 months. And now it's to the point where I have so many buying appointments that I just don't think I can possibly manage them all. So I have to get back to everyone. That's the thing. Things sometimes get very overwhelming because I'm the only one here. I do everything by myself, and when I'm dealing with day-to-day operations, people in real life, and then fielding a lot of emails and questions, and it gets to be a lot. And I had a conversation with a woman that I had recently had a buying appointment with, and it was very interesting because we had a second buying appointment planned over the weekend, and I didn't think she was actually going to show up because she was about 3 hours late. About 15, but 1:45 when I was going to close for the day. They came in, wanted me to look at a bunch of stuff. I didn't have time. I wasn't feeling that great, and just after a long week, just wanted to go home. And I explained to them that, our scheduled time was 3 hours ago, and I'm about to close. I'm just not going to have time to look at anything. And they said the reason why they were late is because they went to another vintage store to sell pieces, and it took them a while because the owner wasn't going to pay them as much as I had paid them for previous stuff and some of the stuff that I was going to look at. And it was an interesting conversation because I don't think they fully understood where I was coming from in terms of my time is very precious to me because I don't have a lot of it. And the reason why I pay more for pieces than maybe some other shops do is I just want to get these buying appointments done and move on to the next. And I pay for convenience, I pay for time, and all shops are different. All vintage store owners are different in what they offer, what they're looking at. And I had to tell them, yeah, she wasn't going to pay you what I was going to pay you, but 3 hours late, I'm tired, I want to go home, and now you're not going to make a sale either way. And that's just that. So if you're watching and you're ever wanting to sell any of your vintage pieces, that's another really good thing to keep in mind is people like me are interested in things, but the moment we feel like our time has been disrespected, not interested anymore, gotta keep moving. Like I said, I've got buying appointments up the wazoo already scheduled for the next month, and I've got a flurry of emails I have to respond to. So it's kind of a one and done thing. I pay for it now, keep it moving. I don't like to dilly-dally and drag my feet, and I want to be as decisive as possible, and I would hope that the people I have appointments with do the same. So I'm a little exhausted from all of that. Needless to say, I've got a long laundry list of things to get done today, and I'm going to steamroll through them, and then later tonight just completely go catatonic and veg out. All right, so it's currently Wednesday, and I am going through a lot of the winter coats and back, and the ones that just need a little bit of spot cleaning, fluffing up, and put out on the floor for someone to enjoy. Now this coat was one that I, again, was very tempted to keep. It's from the 1970s. It is made of 100% cashmere. It's soft, it's thick, it's beautiful, it's decadent, it fit me, but I can't keep it. I have enough coats and it needs to go off and be appreciated. And what I love about this style is it looks like a trench coat, but it's winter coat and it hits a lot of different style boxes. It's vintage. If you're more of a minimalist or like just very classic silhouettes with earthy tones, this hits that box, but you still get your vintage taste. And I absolutely love it. Just cleaning it up a tiny bit and then putting it out on the floor. And I don't anticipate this one's gonna last long, so I need to enjoy it here while I can. All right, so it's the end of the day. I didn't get to film that much, but it's getting a little dark out, so you can kind of see the window a little bit better. Looks so much better at night with the rope lighting glowing, all that jazz. But I just had a really wonderful conversation with an amazing local photographer here in Fargo, and it's nice to end the day on a really great creative conversation and someone who understands your passion for creating. So it was a nice way to end the night. I've got a buying appointment tomorrow. I have been trying to get a lot better writing notes about what my buying appointments are, since I've been having so many lately. And this one I've written down that there's some pieces from the 1930s, so we'll see what that yields. I forgot to take a video of when I had this on the mannequin, but I just listed this beautiful, kind of cool pine green 1930s linen dress up on our eBay site. If it's still there, as per usual, I'll link it in the description. So I've been chipping away at a lot of pieces back here, and I know this is probably gonna be more of a project for January when I can take more time off, but I used to have this when I first moved into this space, and I didn't quite have as much stuff. It was a really nice little seating area that people could come back here and could just chill and look at everything, kind of like a salon. And I want to get it back to that point, mainly because for reasons like today, I had a wonderful young woman who is working on the short film that, if you remember, I don't remember how many episodes it was, but I lent some clothing to my friend who is making her first short film, and they came in to get a couple more pieces for the film today. And I felt horrible because it's a jungle back here, and just when I think I'm getting it organized, I have another buying appointment or something happens to where it just looks like another explosion happened in here. So it's a really big goal of mine, and doesn't look like any progress has been made because I've been starting with the smaller things first, getting little pieces out here and there, working on a lot of mending for a lot of clothes, chipping away at everything. But ideally, this is going to be a nice, as nice as it can be, seating area, way more functional, organized. So I look forward to doing that. But I'm a little discombobulated. I have horrific migraine, so this week is going to be very interesting in terms of what I film and if I remember to do anything. But I wanted to end it on this note and how it was a really good night, just having a wonderful conversation with another creative in the community, and looking forward to things to come. So I will see you right back here tomorrow. Good morning. It is currently Thursday, and this morning I have been finally going through those little bags of baby clothes that I got in that most recent vintage haul, and I came to a realization, and I've been thinking about it a lot, and I'll tell you why. There's a really big vintage clothing estate sale happening this weekend here in Fargo. And I've had numerous customers and friends message me about it. It looks glorious. The inside of the house has like red shade carpeting, like total out of the 70s amazingness. The house kind of reminds me of the Madonna Inn. And they're amazing vintage pieces that are going to be up for grabs. And truthfully, and I always am asked where I get a lot of my vintage from, and I get them all from private buying appointments. Now, this estate sale I was really tempted to go to. It's this weekend, and I work, so it would be really hard because it starts at 10. I open at 11, but I'm usually always here at 10. But also, these estate sales, even in Fargo, from those I've talked to, get highly competitive, and it almost feels like a rat race. And I don't like the competitiveness of it. It just isn't appealing to me, even though there are some really amazing pieces coming from this estate. But I kept thinking, why don't I want to go? Like, yes, the competitiveness, I don't like that. I've had sellers who are friends who have talked about awkward encounters with other sellers, and that, I don't like conflict. I don't like that stuff. But I was wondering, like, there's such amazing pieces from what I can see in the photos that you would think I would be jumping at the chance, like, I don't care, I'll deal with it. I just want to go see some amazing pieces. But this morning, as I've been unpacking and hanging up a lot of these baby clothes and children's clothes, I realized that I like to take my time when I look through these pieces for obvious reasons, checking the condition, making sure they're resellable, all that jazz. But I also really love to just sit with these items. And you'll notice by these racks that there are pieces that I'm just not ready to sell yet. And it's because I'm a collector first, a seller second. Selling is a means to an end. I want time with these pieces to enjoy them before I pass them on to their new amazing homes. And I think that's the part about why I'm not the best business person by any means, because I'm very personally attached to a lot of what I sell. There's nothing I sell that I don't love. And my whole thing is when I buy things for the shop, I buy them with the understanding that if no one buys them, I'm going to be keeping them. So they have to be things that I wouldn't mind keeping. Maybe that's a hoarding aspect of it. I don't know. But with this estate sale, they're amazing pieces, but I don't want to just go in and grab a bunch of what I can and process later. I want to be more intentional. I want time to sit with these pieces, get to learn about the owner, and at some of these estates, I know that's not always going to happen. So it's that FOMO and getting over that and wishing all my friends amazing luck. I mean, everybody who goes there is going to come away with something really beautiful and wonderful. And I'm excited to hear about it. Sad that I won't be going. But having said that, I do have 2 buying appointments this week. I have one today. I have several in the next couple of weeks. So I need to stay focused on what I have happening in store. But it is just one of those things where I love sitting with these pieces. I mean, look at this gorgeous 1930s dress that I showed you in the previous video. I like to sit with them and have my time with them before they disappear from my life forever. It sounds weird, I know, but if you're a collector out there who also sells, you understand that these pieces are become kind of like your children, and you want to make sure you love and appreciate them while you have them, and then you set them off for their new adventure. So that's my sappy bit for the day. And again, I'm excited to see what people get from that estate sale. Amazing pieces. Like even talking about it, it's kind of killing me and my mouth is getting dry. But I have to stay firm with myself and have willpower, which when it comes to vintage is something that's almost non-existent to me. It's Friday morning and here I am trying to yet again organize and photograph and get things done. And I just wanted, out of curiosity, to put this stunning 1930s dress on this mannequin just to get a better idea of what it looks like. And look how stunning that is. You can see why I have such a hard time selling a lot of these pieces. Now, the belt needs some work. Some of the rhinestones are missing, and there isn't a clasp on this side, but still, it's a beautiful silk, lightweight, gorgeous color, and I just really wanted to see what this looked like. And now I have, and I feel better. And I mean, come on, look at this buttery yellow ruffle 1930s dress. It is so gorgeous. Now, I haven't had a chance to steam any of these yet, but just for curiosity, I wanted to see if I could get them on the mannequins. And my deciding factor to sell them is if I couldn't fit them on the mannequins and just put them on some kind of display, I wasn't going to keep them. But it fit perfectly. I mean, look how stunning. Oh, all of the details, the little belt. It's absolute perfection. Now, this hat obviously didn't go with it, but I just wanted to see the different ways you could style it. And you know, I love the 1930s. I love all decades of fashion, but I never really had the opportunity to have a lot of these pieces in my hands to fully appreciate them. They seemed like these mythical pieces that the only way I'd be able to get my hands on them if I were able to shell out a few $100s on eBay or Etsy, and that would be the only way I could admire them. But luckily with these pieces, they weren't the case. It's just a great example of a family that just wanted these pieces to find a good home. And they really have. Now this is one that I am going to sell, and it's I believe early 1940s satin quilted floral robe, and it's so beautiful. It does have its flaws, like some of the quilting stitching is coming out. It has a little bit of storage discoloration, especially on the inner lining right here. One of the little ties inside is missing. So this piece is one that it needs some work. And normally I would try to bring this into the dry cleaner, see if they can get the stains off, but that obviously hikes the price up. And I get a lot of buyers coming in who are very well versed in cleaning fabrics, even more well versed than I am. And in order to keep the price low, if they're willing to take a chance on it and fix it up, then they get a great deal and a great opportunity to spruce a lot of these pieces up themselves. So this might be the case with this piece. I'm going to inspect it a little bit more, but it is so beautiful. I mean, just this pattern, so delicate. Let's see if I can zoom in on those flowers. Ugh, absolutely stunning. And this true, like, ballet pink, very, very indicative of the late 1930s, early 1940s. Absolutely gorgeous. It has a lot of life left to it. It just needs a little bit of care, like the rest of us. I just wanted to get this on film as well. It's absolutely, absolutely beautiful. Okay, so it's almost the end of the day on Friday, and I just had a last minute buying appointment. Just got a surprise one, but a very, very good surprise. So I have 2 bins of clothing that I bought, all this jewelry, and later this week, I think on Thursday, I'm going to have it scheduled to where I'm going to do another full vintage haul video so I can dedicate a full video to everything that I found. So stay tuned for that. But just to give you a sneak preview of some of the pieces, see this cool I believe it's 1940s brooch. And everything's kind of all over in here, but so that's a little preview. Stay tuned for that full video on, well, hopefully Thursday, so you can see everything in a little bit more detail. All right, it's Sunday morning, and a little update on the back room. I was finally able to break down one of the racks. It felt really good. Got all of the pieces off of this rack that I'm going to be keeping in the archive. Was able to put out more winter coats on the floor, and now we're down to this one. But I have all the clothes. Well, I brought back some clothes that I had laundered last night at home in these bags. Gonna start getting them hung up, steamed, priced out on the floor. Have another buying appointment today. We'll see how that goes. What? All right, so I hung up all of the vintage from the vintage haul, and you'll see more of these in my video coming up on Thursday. Have another buying appointment today, so I might give you a little peek if I end up getting anything at all. But I'm going to quickly go through and price a lot of these pieces, get myself organized. It's about 20 minutes until I have to open, and we'll see how the day goes. Now, unless something really extraordinary and fun happens today, there's a possibility I might just end the video here. So if I do, thank you so much for watching. Going along with all of my chaos and scattered brainness. And if something interesting does happen, I will pop back in. But otherwise, I'll see you again soon. Bye.